Okay, we're recording at 10:05.
All right, everybody. Hello. Good morning. It's Saturday, the 25th of May, and
The
no,
25th of April.
April. April. Jeez, man, what a morning so far.
Let's do a rewind.
So let's call the meeting to order, and let's get a roll call.
Okay, Christina Barbera.
Here.
John Barbera.
Here.
Ben Bruxford is excused. Christina Calandra.
Who's here?
Here, but
Here.
Vic Christensen here. May Cordero Herrera.
here.
Adrian Fernandez.
Here.
Cynthia Gagne.
She's here. Cynthia,
Your mic.
you don't have a mic?
We cannot hear you.
We can't hear you.
It shows her audio is on, but the mic's not working.
Yeah. Well, we can see you are here. Gwen Henry. Anybody hear anything?
No.
Oh,
Okay, unexcused.
You agreed to come.
Well, she did that with public safety too and never showed.
Well, she's not here and nobody has heard saying she won't, so she's unexcused. April Jones is excused. Melanie Lebrecht.
Here.
Kelly Miller. Whoops, somebody is in attendees. Who is that? Colin. Oh, I need to. Kelly Miller is also unexcused. Kane Nicholas.
unless
Also,
that's one of them in the call
Call-in
user.
user. It's a call-in user in the.
oh. Unexcused. Thomas Norman.
Present.
Ray Rigoletto.
Here.
Angela Sumner. Also unexcused. And Chris Valle is unexcused.
You know, a couple of these people who indicated they would be here.
Okay, we have 10. Well, the key thing is they have not indicated they won't be here, so
Yeah,
that makes
no,
them
no.
unexcused.
Do you want
That's
to
all good.
ask?
Except for the two people.
Is the call-in user one of the board members?
Can't tell.
Maybe allow him to talk and say something.
Should I call back? Should I call back in? This is Christina Calandra.
As the calling user?
I don't know if you guys can hear me or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Perfect.
You're on normal, but there is a call-in user. Call-in user, are you one of the board members or a stakeholder?
Good morning, my friends. No, I'm a stakeholder, my fellow colleagues.
Okay. Just want to make sure whether we need to count you as, move you across or something. So I'm gonna disable you for now.
All right.
Okay. So we have 10. So we have quorum.
You hear me now? This is Cynthia.
Yes,
we can hear you.
All right. Way to go,
I know how to
Cynthia.
fix my mic. I just had it off. Sorry.
Okay. Closing out agenda item number 1, moving on to agenda item number 2, general public comment on non-agenda items. Please raise your hand if you have any comments. I see calling user.
Good morning, council members. Why no speaking as an individual? Regarding the as an speaking for myself, I'd like to share with you that yesterday the Budget and Finance Committee, chaired by Yaroslavsky, held their first public hearing, and they will have a second one on Monday at 3:30 p.m. at LA City Hall. They'll be listening from labor partners, from the unions, and from the Neighborhood Council of Budget Advocates. I encourage people, stakeholders, members of the public to attend and make your voices be heard, either oral public comment or written public comment. I just heard on NPR News this morning, that Yaroslavsky, one of the biggest agenda items proposed by the mayor is the hiring of more police officers, which means more funding for LAPD, which has, by the way, the biggest funding out of all the city departments. That is a fact, a mathematical fact. So when somebody says they're underfunded, they're misleading you. They have the biggest budget. But anyway, the purposes of 500 is for the academy. I think it costs a lot of money to recruit, train these candidates, and to put them in a training process. And by the way, statistically speaking, not many of these candidates are passed through the process. So it does cost a lot of money to the city, which means cost to you, the taxpayers. So that's why other departments are underfunded, and as well as neighborhood councils, they're seeing their budgets slash to fund these programs for LAPD. I understand public safety is an important topic for all of us, but we have to take into consideration transparency, accountability, and risk reduction management strategies. Whew, that's a lot mouthful, but I just want to share that with you. Just keep an eye on the budget, as well as the Charter Reform Commission. They will be listening to public comment on April the 30th, this Thursday, at LA City Hall, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The Rules Election Intergovernmental Committee, chaired by Marquise Harris Dawson, will be listening to members of the public on the charter reform and an overview of the charter reform. So this is your opportunity to speak your mind on anything related to the charter. Again, I'm sharing this as an individual, but I want to be sure that all of y'all have this information. Thank you.
I'm done.
Thank you, Lionel. Anyone else? Last call? Not seeing any hands. So we're going to close out agenda item number 2 and move on to agenda item number 3, which is approve Northwest San Pedro Neighborhood Council bylaws amendments. Adrian, it's all on you.
Good morning, everybody. Hello, welcome to our special meeting. We're here again, approving more bylaw amendments. These bylaw amendments proposals were submitted ahead of time. So I will give it to Mrs. Secretary Christensen if he wants to explain his amendments, and then we can go from there. If that works.
Mr. Christensen?
You're muted.
Yeah. The section D, the way I set this up to try to streamline things for this meeting, I have 2 options. There's the one, this up at the top, and then this other one down at the bottom. Which one we go with depends on the answers to some of these questions over here that I have. And I left some of the questions I originally had to just for completeness, and then if they were made OBE because of edits and suggested wording, then I put that in, afterward in the square braces or square brackets. So to make it clear with the executive committee meeting, I just, for both of them, or at least for the first one, it was the one immediately prior to the board meeting where the selection is going to be heard. So that one, that may change. That's on option 1. Option 2 makes it a little bit earlier than that, which kind of depends on where when somebody submits their application, where does the application go directly? does it go to one of us, or does it go to the city clerk like for a regular election?
Okay. I'll answer the second one here. You're talking about, so this is an appointed seat. So this if somebody submitted an application, it wouldn't go to the city clerk, it'd go to us.
Okay.
And what I did for the last one when we did the A-Real seat, I mean, I did the Google form and everything, and I just sent it to the executive officers.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that cuts down on the amount of time needed
correct.
once we get the applications. So why was the initial wording to have the deadline before an executive committee meeting as opposed to some other meeting, or even not necessarily before a particular meeting?
Well, because I did see your comment, and the first comment is they're not going to go to bylaws and elections. I think it's going to just be too much having a bylaw and elections meeting every single time and vet
Okay.
a candidates. But so I would say the reason why I put it on that is to kind of sort of give enough time, I would say, from sometime before after the 5 days and when the application needs to be put out up to when an appropriate deadline is. I felt that at that time, the appropriate deadline was to put it in front of the executive committee. And I would assume that on the agenda of that executive committee of that month, it'd be considered, there would be something saying, you know, fill vacant seat of candidates. So it was just an intention of giving the amount enough time within from when it was released to when there should be a deadline.
Okay, if we make the deadline that close to the I mean, that's fine with putting it on the agenda because that's what the executive committee meeting does. But is there going to be enough time? We had it at Sunday and I moved it back to Friday for purposes of if we have paper applications. Is that going to be enough time to vet the candidates that apply or the applicants to make sure that they are qualified? Because my concern, if we make it that close to the executive committee meeting, is there won't be enough time to vet them before we say, okay, these are going to be the people. And if we're going to keep it at that close to the executive committee meeting, then whoever the people are who do the vetting are going to have to really get
Yeah,
on that
narrow it
right
down.
away and
Yeah.
do it quickly.
Yeah. So I will say that I agree. I hear what you're saying. I did that with the last one just because, when I did it, I mean, it was just a quick check. Now, probably everybody's not going to be me, right? So I will say that I would have no issue moving it back to a Friday to give enough time if there is a paper application. I do have a hand that's been raised for a bit, Miss Lebrecq.
Yeah, so a couple of things on this.
Can we?
I think it's too many steps to send it to the bylaws to selection. The only committee that reviews the selections and parses out them and decides before it ever goes to the board kind of is youth and outreach for the youth and outreach seat. This is a fill seat of a board member seat, a full board member seat. So basically what should happen is the chair of the bylaws committee should receive the applications and just make sure that their ducks are in a row with their ID, that they live in that area, and then submit for the board to vote on those. And they need to, if there's more than a few candidates, then set up like a mini during the meeting town hall where they get to talk and get to speak and make sure that it's set up that way. But I mean, we don't need to make this so complicated where they got to go here and they got to go
Yeah.
here and they got to go here. I think this is just to fill a vacant seat.
Yeah, and I answered the question, Vic's question earlier, and they won't be coming to bylaws and elections committee. I answered that earlier. They won't. It would if once an application is submitted, the bylaw and elections chair will, get the application vet to make sure, and then send it over to the executive committee but they will not be coming. There's nothing in here in this amendment that would show they would be going to bylaws and elections. I have Mr. Norman on the queue.
All right, I trust the point of information raised by the secretary has been answered, and I'd like to move that we accept the second amendment and move it to a vote. Call their preceding questions.
Well, all the questions haven't been answered yet.
Okay.
Well, one, I have a comment that April submitted by email. She agreed that we needed extra time as a cushion. So that would be with option 2, moving it back. So if
with the two, the thing with the 2 weeks is that would be, I think that is one thing I'm concerned with two is that we're shortening the amount of time there is for an application to submit an applicant to submit an application. That's why I'm more preferable to the one, because again, I just think that if we're talking about the issue of vetting, I think if you have it on the Friday to Monday, 3 days is enough time to vet a candidate
But that's
instead
not
of having 2 weeks.
That's not the only it's not 2 weeks. It'd be 1 week instead of 3 days, calendar days.
Okay.
There's also the question of we need to give the applicants who are qualified enough time to plan to attend the board meeting. So either we put something in the application that says, if you are found to be qualified, then plan to attend the meeting on X date. So they have enough time even before they apply. Or we need to make sure we give them more than just a week to plan to attend the meeting, because they may have other things already planned on that day and they won't have time to change it.
I agree with that, to have it in the application, telling them to plan on being at the meeting on this date.
Yeah, that's more of an administrative. I agree. The next application we can do that and put on the application on the top of the title. If found qualified, please arrange your schedule or something to be here at this day at this time. So I agree.
I mean, I think it's more than just administrative. It's also logistical, but we can, regardless, we can put something on the application for that. I believe that. Well, and I assume we're also going to post paper copies somewhere. I would assume that would be at the, usual posting place, LAPD Harbor Division.
Yes, we'll print out stacks and just leave it there, and then on the Google form online, it can just say if a paper copy is wanted, please go to LAPD Harbor Division or something like that, if that works.
Well, we'll need to state that somewhere, because if people don't have access to the Google form, they won't see that.
We can put it on the website.
So we need to do it. We need to state it verbally at a meeting, because if people don't have access to the computer methods that we post things at, they won't see those, whether they're on the website or Google form or whatever. So that we can take care of, but I'm just bringing that up now. We can't assume that people are going to have access to the computer at all, and they still need to be able to know that the applications exist.
Yes, I agree, and we can work that out, and I hear what you're saying. I'm writing all these down too, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So other than that, I agree with Thomas that unless somebody else has questions, because mine have been answered now, I will go with, back to what he was saying about he made a motion to approve the second option, and we can go to a vote. So
there was no, excuse me, there was no second to that.
Second. I'll second it.
Okay.
Well,
Mm-hmm. second
I
up.
was about to, I just hadn't got to it yet.
Sounds like Melanie seconded. So
Yeah.
why
So,
don't we go
okay,
ahead
with this one, so let's say, let's go to accounting. I just want to give an example here, right? Because for the two weeks, right? So let's say
About
our
2 weeks.
or 2 weeks prior to
Well,
the
to the board meeting, but not to the executive committee meeting.
okay, so that would be if it's that would be the week before the executive committee meeting.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. I just want to understand that. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm fine
We
with
would
that.
either we would either, let's see, what do we have? Yeah, 2 weeks prior to the board meeting. So this would be there's the Friday prior to the executive committee meeting. A week before that Friday would be the deadline. So 3 p.m. on Friday, that is 2 weeks before the board meeting, which is 1 week before the executive committee meeting.
What's that date?
It's going to be,
So if it was May, would it be May 1st?
I mean, there would be
As an
no particular
example.
date until we know what
Well,
the,
just as an example.
okay. If we were doing it at the May 4th,
No, 11th.
or sorry, May 11th board meeting, then it would, the deadline would be May 1st at 3 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, that works. Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and take a vote? It seems like
Wait, hold on. There's a motion on the floor. It has been moved by Mr. Norman. It has been seconded by
Melanie.
Melanie.
Miss Lebrec. My pen is not working. Okay. Any other discussion on the amendment on the floor? Hearing none, any public comment? Hearing none, let's go to a vote, Mr. Secretary.
Okay, Christina Barbera,
Yes.
John Barbera,
Yes.
Christina Calandra,
Yes.
Vic Christensen, I, May Cordero Herrera,
Yes.
Adrian Fernandez,
Yes.
Cynthia Gagne,
Yes.
Melanie Lebrec,
Yes.
Thomas Norman,
Yes.
Ray Regalado.
Yes.
Okay, that is you. Actually, Ray, you can't vote because you still have expired training.
Hey, wait, no, okay, I'm not going to argue, but that's been turned in, finished. But
Well,
that's
wait.
fine. It's fine. We still got quorum. Let's just move on.
Okay. Okay. Any other amendments for three? Not that I'm aware of. Okay. So then that should do it for number three. Number four, we're now to the standing rules. Vic, do you have that?
Yep.
Okay, bring that up for me, please.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, here we are. Okay, item number four on the standing rules. Vic, this is your motion again. Congrats.
Yeah, that's fine. I know this one was put off because I wasn't at the meeting where it first came up. There have been cases where people have waited till sometimes literally the last minute, as in during a meeting, to ask if they could have something heard at the meeting. And I had to tell them it was not on the agenda, so you have to wait till the next meeting, which of course is a month later. So this is in part meant to let people know that here is the schedule that you have to submit your agenda items on. Besides having this as a separate little subparagraph, it also kind of has, it's for completeness because we talk about submitting reports after the meetings. So now we're talking about submitting the agenda items to be put at the board, on the board agenda as well. So what this basically says is if you have a meeting before the executive committee meeting, then you need to submit the wording that goes on the agenda, not the supporting documentation. So for example, if you approve a CIS for something, we don't need, for this, we don't need the actual CIS. We just need the words to go on the agenda that say approve CIS for something, whatever it is. And then the supporting documentation goes separately to be posted for the agenda packet and things like that. So all this is the words for the agenda. So if the meeting, if committee meeting happens before the executive committee meeting, then that gives plenty of time to submit the words to go on the agenda by either before or during the executive committee meeting. If the committee, like sometimes with budget and finance, if it happens after the executive committee meeting during the same week, then it can wait until that Wednesday instead of the executive committee meeting, which is usually on a Monday, possibly a Tuesday, depending on whether there's a holiday. So that is what this is saying. If we need the words for the agenda by or during the executive committee meeting, or for those committees that meet the Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of that same week, by the Wednesday, because the agenda will be posted on Thursday. So that is what this is saying. And if anybody reads this and thinks that that's not what it's saying, then let us know so we can change it so it says what it's supposed to.
Okay.
Let me throw in here,
And
John,
just to make it official, I move that we approve this agenda, this amendment.
I will
Okay.
second the amendment by
let
Mr.
me throw
Christensen.
this
Hold
down.
on. Any
throw this-
discussion on
Let me-
the move and second amendment? Right.
We lost somebody. So with me unable to vote because they haven't reflected my work, the training, then we are under quorum and
Well, if you have the certificate, then
I don't have it with me. I'd have to show it after the fact. So I don't know how you guys want to handle it.
well,
we do have quorum. He can count as quorum. He just can't vote, I think.
Well,
if he has completed it,
yeah.
he was supposed to have sent it to me, so I knew because we had a meeting coming up. But as long as it's been completed, regardless of whether they have reflected it, then we can count you as having it done. And then what I've done is if after the fact they don't, when they post it, it's the wrong date or something that's afterward, then I just change the votes to reflect that.
Okay.
But if you said you did it, then we'll see if they posted on time. Do you know when you did it? Because they were supposed to change things yesterday.
Well, yeah, I did it a week and a half ago.
And they still.
They do
I
that.
didn't follow up to look at it. So,
All right.
Yeah.
I looked at it this morning and it wasn't.
Okay, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll raise it with them. So,
All right. But
Yeah.
we can, if you did it, we can still count you.
Okay, let's do it then.
Yeah, okay. Okay, the amendment has been, or this motion has been moved by Christensen. It has been seconded by Fernandez. Any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion. Is there any public comment?
And who left?
This pen's not working. Okay, we'll go to a vote.
Who is it that left so I can.
Thomas.
Thomas.
Okay.
Thomas.
He left. He said in the beginning he only had 30
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. So I'm assuming 10:30.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been 5 minutes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure so I don't call him. Okay, on this motion, Christina Barbera,
Yes.
John Barbera,
Yes.
Christina Calandra,
Yes.
Vic Christensen, I, May Cordera Herrera,
Yes.
Adrian Fernandez,
Yes.
Cynthia Gagne,
Yes.
Melanie Lebrecq,
Yes.
Ray Regalado.
Yep.
Okay, that should be everybody. Yes, that is everybody.
9.
Okay, friends, and it has come to that time as we've now have completely gone through and made our amendments to both bylaws and standing rules. Thank you all for your cooperation and your insight and input. Oh, Melanie.
We do have a comment, yeah.
I just wanted to let everybody know that if you have looked at the budget that the mayor released, if the city council approves this budget, that elections will happen because she included elections in the budget for neighborhood councils.
Correct. Yes, I
Yeah.
did see that, and I was going to mention that. But it's okay. Thank you. Yes, we will be having elections. We'll get closer to that time, maybe say maybe October, November. We'll start
Yeah,
gearing
so
up
I'll
for
make
that.
sure on the budget to include that on the fiscal year budget for
Yeah,
election.
I mean, I'll make a request to the Budget and Finance Committee on how much I think. It won't be that much, and if anything, we can amend it throughout the fiscal year.
Well, are we going to want to do a newsletter this time?
Well, I mean that can be discussed in Budget and Finance,
Yeah.
but
This
I
is-
mean, I'll still send a request for how much I think elections should be, and then we can go from there.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we got to know so we can.
Okay. I'll send it out. Yeah.
Anything else,
All right.
anyone?
That is it. We have finished.
All right. Without objection, let me first say thank you very much for all of you to show up and be part of this. Truly appreciate me. I appreciate the fact that for some, they have a lot of things to do on their weekends because they work. For others, they just like to sleep in. So for those who woke up extra early, thank you extra more. So
You're welcome.
Thank you, extra more. Okay.
yeah, that's official Brown Act speak. So anyway,
Barbera, okay.
I was going to call you at 2:30. I've been up since then.
All right.
so let's get ahead and get the heck out of here.
If anyone
Enjoy your
wants some
Saturday.
delicious pastries, I'll be at Port Town till 4 o'clock.
Port Town Brewery.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
So we're adjourned at 10:38.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll stop the recording.
Okay.
And just